The Desk by the Window. Part 1. The Box That Shouldn't Have Been There. There's a desk by the window in room 108. It's small, unremarkable, just wood and iron. But no one sits there anymore, not for years. The teachers never assigned it, the janitors never cleaned it, and the students never asked about it. But I remember who used to sit there, and the more I think about it, the more I wish I didn't remember so late. His name was Callum Reyes. And this isn't a ghost story. Not really. This is about something more haunting. I hadn't stepped foot inside Eastridge High in over a decade, but last fall they invited alumni to help clean out storage rooms. Budget cuts, new administration. They needed volunteers. I figured, why not? Part of me hoped walking those halls would make me feel something. Nostalgia, comfort, closure. But mostly, I just felt cold. The walls looked smaller than I remembered. The lockers more dented. The paint more tired. Memory is generous with its lighting. They assigned me to a back room near the old art wing. It was packed with forgotten trophies, broken plastic chairs, bulletin boards still covered in glitter glue from 2014. I worked in silence until I found the box. It was shoved into the back corner, half collapsed under the weight of a rusted easel. The top was sealed with cracked brown tape. The cardboard was water damaged and soft, but the label was still visible. Black permanent marker, slanted handwriting. Property of Callum Reyes, room 108. And just like that, the past hit me in the chest. Callum Reyes. I hadn't thought about him in years. No one had. Not since he stopped showing up one day. Not since the whispers faded and the teachers moved on. We assumed he transferred, moved away, started over. We never asked. We never really cared. Until now. I took the box home. I know I shouldn't have. It probably belonged to the school, or to someone else. But something in me needed to open it. Maybe guilt, maybe curiosity, maybe both. At home, I cleared a spot on the table and cut the tape carefully. Inside were 4 journals, each one worn thin at the edges, spines cracked, pages curled like leaves. They smelled like dust and ink and something else I couldn't name. On the inside cover of the first journal, written in faded blue ink, for the person who finally cares. I didn't open it right away. I just sat there, staring at those words, because I knew what they meant. This wasn't some school project he left behind. This wasn't homework or scribbles or forgotten poems. This was what was left of him, the parts we never got to know, because we never asked. Callum Reyes. He wasn't loud, he wasn't funny, he wasn't athletic or charming or cool. He was quiet, always in the corner of the cafeteria, hood up, head down, eating alone. He didn't make eye contact, didn't talk in class unless called on, and even then, his voice barely rose above a whisper. We weren't monsters. At least, we told ourselves we weren't. We didn't shove him downstairs. We didn't steal his stuff or hit him in the halls. We just ignored him and laughed at him when it felt easy. We called him weird, muttered things behind his back, left fake notes on his desk, mimicked his voice when he read aloud. Not every day. Not always the same people, but often enough that I remember, and I bet he remembered every time. Eventually, he stopped speaking in class, stopped coming to lunch, stopped showing up altogether, and when the desk by the window was empty for a week straight, we didn't ask why. When the second week passed, we assumed he moved. No announcements, no explanations, just absence. And after a month, we didn't talk about him at all. I opened the first journal that night, The handwriting was neat, small, careful, the kind of handwriting someone has when they know no one will ever read it. The first entry was dated September 4th, the start of sophomore year. First day, I sat by the window again. I think the sun helps me pretend I'm not here. Someone knocked over my pencil case. They said it was an accident, but I don't think it was. I didn't say anything. I never do. There's this weird thing that happens when you become invisible. You start believing you're not supposed to be seen. I kept reading. Each entry was like peeling back the wallpaper on a place you thought you knew. There were days he counted how many people looked at him. Most days, the number was 0. There were pages of observations about teachers, classmates, the weather. He noticed everything, especially things no one else did, like this one. A girl in 4th period wore yellow socks with cats on them. She smiled when no one was looking. I think she's sad too, but she hides it better. Or, someone left their coffee cup in the trash can upside down. It leaked on my sketchbook. I didn't say anything. I never do. One entry stood out more than the rest. It was short, just one line. No one has said my name out loud in 16 days. That's the end of part 1. Please subscribe, like and comment for part 2.